Hi, how are you today? My name is McLean Bobbitt. I'm a real estate investor full-time for 4 years based out of East Texas. Thanks for watching the video. It's just going to be a 10-minute quick video showing you the overview of how we use REIsift, a great data management software. That way you can really squeeze the most out of your marketing dollars here. If you're interested after the video, if you're looking for a sign up or get a referral link for it, I've got the referral link in the comments in the description. So hope you enjoy it. Really short, simple, to the point. If you have any other questions, any other topics you want me to cover, feel free, leave a comment, like it, subscribe. Also, if you're looking to join a mastermind or a group of individuals that love really being strategic with their marketing dollars, and also a like-minded group of individuals that love messy title deals, DM me, message me below. You can actually get into our mastermind and get in with a lot of great individuals that love those messy title deals. That way you're surrounded by others just like you, and you can collaborate with others. Otherwise, continue watching the video and hope you learned some great information from it. Thanks. All right. Okay. We're going to show you the overview for REIsift. Most people that come into my mentorship program, they either have an interest in REIsift, they've already used it before, they've been a user before, or they've never used it before. Is a very small percentage. Most people know me from REIsift. Again, great product. We've been using it for 3 years now, 3.5 years. But I'm going to do a quick overview on this video. Again, it's not going to be a long one, but it's going to be one just to give you a quick snippet if you've never seen it, so you can kind of understand what's going on. So clear this off right here. Okay, so this is your main dashboard. So whenever you log in, this is always what you're going to see first off. As you can see, I've had the same, this is actually our live account. So we have 224,000 records. I've had my account for 3.5 years. So you can tell we don't buy a ton of data. A lot of it was our original data and we just added to it. So you're going to see a couple highlighted key things here you want to look at. Obviously, your monthly records for the month that you can upload. If you upload more than 10,000 records in the month, I think it's like $5 to add another 10,000 records to your account. So normally what I tell people, especially like in the onboarding videos, is you're going to spend the most either money or data storage uploading your initial data, or if you're transitioning from a different CRM or data management system to REIsift, you're going to see a lot more expenses on that first month, and then it starts smoothing out. You'll kind of see what your normal month looks like. So for us, like, we're on the 30th of May. And so we only have 663 new records that we've added for this month. So as you can tell, that's not a lot. So the other things you want to look at is your vacancy ratio and statuses. This tells you how many properties you've got that are vacant, whether it's vacant properties that might have been, they haven't been demolished yet. But you want to take a look at this because it can mean one of two things. It can mean either the house is empty because someone moved out, or it could be between going on market and they just cleaned it out, or it could honestly just be a vacant house that's been sitting there for 10 years. And we do have quite a bit of those, which you can tell 1% of our records in our entire account is a vacant property. So it falls into one of those categories. You might catch a landlord that is tired of their renter. They just kicked them out, evictions, someone that's getting the market ready. You might find a cash buyer from that list there, but you never know. And so you want to keep an eye on that. Another thing is your records with numbers. So like what I'm really well known for is our deep prospecting type leads, stuff that you have to dig into. You're like, hey, I can't get a hit on this guy or gal, and there's no number for him. So that's where we really specialize in. Most people will look at this account, and what they do is they look at it and they go, okay, he has 224,000 records and he has 75,000 that has phone numbers, and that's all they look at. So for me, what we look at is over on the right side over here where it says skip trace status. We have 16,000 records that have been skip traced, meaning we got their phone numbers and they came back, or sorry, skip trace means that we sent them off to get numbers for them. But 16,000 of those did not come back with any numbers at all. So for me, that's a very big pool to pick out of. Most people will look at it and go, okay, well, we have 75,000 records that have numbers. Let's go after that. They throw it into the dialer. They throw it into SMS, RVM, whatever it is, whatever your poison is for marketing, and they focus on that number. But for me, I'm going to look at it and go, okay, how many of these did not come back with numbers? Because those are the ones that you got to squeeze a little bit harder to get those types of deals. And that's where we really found that our best marketing efforts are put to. So that's your dashboard. The next thing is going to be your SIF line, which SIF line, if you use any kind of CRM, any kind of system like that, what you can set this up, you can set this up however you want to. One thing I've realized is I can show you how we set ours up in a different video, but everyone's got different steps that they feel are like critical. For us, this is a vacant land campaign that we're running. We have JV deals, wholesaling. We have like multiple boards here, but you can see and play around with it, like how you're built out on your operation. You can see like offer stall, dispositions, survey, schedule closing, things like that. Obviously, we have 163 leads. We just kicked off this campaign 10 days ago. Yeah, like 10 days ago. So we have 163 leads already. We have either price, timeline, condition, motivation, and we said, hey, let's go ahead and move forward with prospecting into them. So you can set this up however you want to. I'll do another video how we have ours exactly, but this is where you can create it specifically to you. That way, as you're working the cards, you don't have to go into your records page and filter it out and do all that. But going into records, you have your records page. So right here, this is where all of your records are at. As you can see, we have about 19,000 pages of records. And your most critical ones or high value target are going to be the ones at the top. 6 stack, 5 stack. And what I mean by stack is their list. They're on 5 or 6 lists. And that means they have either basic motivation or they might be a type of qualifier like high equity, low equity, things like that. I'll show you kind of that in a minute. But with that being said, you can click into each record. You can see, for example, like this one, you can see the phone numbers, you can see the name with their address, you can see the details on the property. I'm not going to scroll down, but it'll tell you like what list it's on, and then the different tags. Or actually, I can do that. Yeah. So like this was a sample list we got from a different data provider, empty nester. So they've been there 20 years. They're over 60. They actually sold in October 2021. This one's still on here just for our records, but tax delinquent, high equity, free and clear. And so we can kind of break down and reverse engineer these types of deals and go, okay, what type of deal was this that sold? Why did it sell? And you can really break down your numbers and go, okay, these are the types of sellers we have the best chance with, the ones that sell the most frequently in our market, and also what areas. So really great product. Love REIsift. And as you can tell, we have 19,000 pages. You can only work so much data. And you can kind of pick your poison there. Like I said, are you a mass marketer or are you a very strategic marketer? And you'll find yourselves either, if you're in this mastermind, you're going to find yourselves more or less in the strategic marketing than in the mass marketing. I do know mass marketing. I don't know it on the scale of the guys or the teams that are like, oh, we spend $30,000 a month in marketing and direct mail and we have 20 cold callers. Like, I don't do that. Like, I would rather us be more efficient with our time instead of creating this huge beast where you hate your operation, you hate your office, you hate everything you do. That's not what I'm here for. So, okay. Other key things you want to look at is incomplete data and then your owner records page. So whenever you look at those types of things right here, that will be in the data portion of it. You want to make sure that you always look at your incomplete records either on a biweekly basis or a monthly basis. So that way you can clean it up. Just make sure, because there's gold in there. Phone book, we don't really use phone book. You can put your contractors, buyers information there. Really, we don't have anything like that for us. We save our buyers in a different CRM. So honestly, this might be something good for us to build out. But again, we don't use the phone book portion too much. Here's our list. So you can break down your list. You can see which ones you have. Again, whenever you go to either import your data, transfer it over, or set up your new data, you're going to have your high level list. So your high level list, think of them like like me saying Texas, and then your tags are going to be like Dallas, Texas. It's going to start breaking down whenever you start going after your tags. So for example, like we have cash buyers, we have child support liens, city liens, code enforcement. I don't know why that only says there's 3 on there. So you're going to see, what's it like, free and clear. So these people own their houses 100% free and clear. So what this means is like these 9,000 properties I pulled specifically on a list where they own their property 100% with no other mortgages, liens, anything. They might have liens after, but mortgages, anything like that. So this is where you want to keep it on a high level. And then as you go to your tags, you want to go to a different, like more granular, and start putting like, okay, this is Dallas County. Okay, this is this zip code. And you can add as many tags as you want to a record. What I normally tell people is you want to be able to break it down by zip code, county, or city. So whenever you're uploading your data, make sure you watch out how you upload it. If you're kind of pulling a broader list, I highly recommend pulling by zip codes because it's the easiest way to identify where your hot areas are whenever you're doing reverse engineering on what areas to market to. Because sometimes you pull a city, you might get the bad zip codes. So I recommend at minimum put a zip code in there. And then if you can, put the city. on your tags. And then obviously your tags, we have like 100 tags. I'll just tell you that we have 100 tags, and I'll show you our spreadsheet on it. That way you won't get any bad habits. We'll just put that way. Statuses, this is going to be more or less your own way you want to do it, how you identify different types of prospects, how you disposition them. So like not interested, leads, sold, follow up, underwrite, buyer, listed. So a couple of these, honestly, I think we'll get rid of them because at the end of the day, you're only going to have a couple of different dispositions that you're looking at. And what I mean by that is it's like whenever you call a seller and your normal responses are yes, no, maybe so, not right now, or never call me again, put me on DNC. So you'll have those different types of, the same way you'll have dispositions. So break it down to like what's the most common dispositions you have, what kind of people you're talking to, what kind of statuses they're in. For example, like we have one for listed. So if someone's already listed the property, we do mark as listed, we follow up with them because that might be a potential subject to deal. Activity, this is really good for checking your records whenever you upload or download records, just to make sure that it didn't, it didn't fail or it actually went through all the way. So you can check your actions on here, updated. You can see if there's been any major changes to an account. Tasks. So tasks, you can set these up for yourself. You can also set it for team members. It's a whole nother video in itself. But for example, like I have, I think 200 tasks. So a lot of these are follow-up calls. Whenever I go to my time call block, I just go in, call like 5 or 6 of these at a time, or I can actually pull this list, put it into an auto dialer and just call through it, whatever is easier for the day, or if I feel like doing it for the day. But again, you can set tasks, and you can also set like notes in the task. And again, this is another video here, but I can tell you that if you put in your task here, like what your normal workflow is, you can obviously prioritize like which one's your best ones to go after. If you have one that's like, hey, it's just a normal follow-up lead. Okay, that's great. If it's Sensei Flow attempt 1, okay, so I know I haven't gotten a hold of them. That's fine. Let's try something else. But if I have something where it's like, hey, this is HVT, high value target, attempt 1. Okay, I'm probably going to spend a lot more time on it as an acquisition person than I would something else. Direct mail. I hope Tyler never sees this video because we don't use direct mail. We literally handwrite and it will send a certified letter to the properties we're trying to get a hold of. Probably need to start using direct mail. I know Tyler would definitely kill me if he ever heard me say that. So sequences, that's one more thing that I'd love to build out even more because we do have a couple different sequences that we work with, what you're looking to do, what you're wanting to do, how much you're wanting to build out. And you can go from there. And if you want like 100 sequences, you can do that if you're on the business plan, not the professional. If you're like me and you're like, hey, look, I need my like top 10 sequences and this is what we use all the time. This is what we need to automate so we can cut down how many clicks. For example, like we were doing new lead status triggers to a new card in the SIF line so we could update it where it's at in the deal flow on one click because my VA was complaining like, hey, I'm having to click 5 times to get here. So you can get really granular on it. Again, build it out to how you operate because there's a lot of people that either operate where they're like, here's how I do it, let's go execute it. And then there's other people who want to build out 40 SOPs for one thing that probably needed a 10-minute video or 5-minute video and could get it done. So whichever way you are, figure out what's best for you. Do not overcomplicate it. Again, there's a rule that I tell myself from my college days. It's Occam's razor. And it's sometimes the easiest solution is the solution. Do not overcomplicate this. But check out the next video. Again, if you watch this whole video for the overview, thank you. Please let me know if there's any changes you think I should make to this, or if you're like, hey, this was awesome, let me know. Again, thanks for watching the whole thing.